and it also helps him fly a little bit faster because he doesn't start descending. So this right here is our first fortress, and it's going to be the first time we take a secret exit. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to go into the first secret world, and it will, and we will also along the way be picking up a special item for another level where it will show up once, but it'll be pretty cool the one time it does show up.
So this is going to be our first of 2 warp cannons that we're going to be doing, and these warp cannons are what you use to, like, in an 80% run, skip a bunch of worlds in a major part of the game, and so, like, you get a very short run, but this is the only way to get to Mushroom World. And so, in these cannon levels, there's these red coin rings that you can get, and it'll spawn the 8 red coins, and if I get all 8 red coins, like I did successfully right there, then I'm gonna get a gold flower in the bottom screen inventory, which I don't believe you can see on the restream. No, there's not. Okay, so just know that there's a gold flower in my bottom screen now, which I'm gonna be using in a level in about not this level, but the level after this. This is going to be our first level of Mushroom 1, and this is going to be our first introduction to a star power. If I get a star, it's going to turn me invincible, which allows me to tank through a bunch of enemies, as well as I run faster in full speed.
So yeah, generally when you get stars, or when levels have stars in them, as long as they're not like super out of the way, it's worth it to get them just for that speed.
Yeah, and most of the time you save about 4 seconds, just due to the, like, if you can like have optimal movement while having a star. So that was our first secret exit right there. In an 80% run, you'd actually get the normal exit because you're trying to get through the end of the game as fast as you can, not to the end of the world as fast as you can, like we are in this category. So now this level is where we're gonna be seeing the gold flower. It's really powerful.
Yes. It's also really cool too, because I really like the sound it makes when it hits.
Oh, okay. Small movement error, but that's okay.
Yeah, the golden flower, it is this game's equivalent to something like the pea flower or the golden tanuki leaves in the 3D World games, or in the 3D World 3D Land, where you get something uber powerful, and then at the end of the level it wears off.
Yeah, so it's a temporary power up. It's the unique power up of the game, where it's pretty much a more powerful fire flower. When you beat the level, it turns us back to regular Fire Mario, and so in that level, the gold flower was used to like the fireballs have this like reverb effect, to where if you hit something with the gold flower, it has these like waves, and it allows you to defeat things with very large distances, including through different walls, which is how I was able to defeat all those like spiky balls and also clear some of the brick wall barriers. So this is the next level, Mushroom 3. It's our first auto scroller. There's plenty of auto scrollers in this game, and they come in different variety. And so we just kind of have to just deal with it. And this is actually a good time to kind of explain that earlier in the world map, the coin block has appeared, and that appears when you accumulate a total of 200,000 points. Every 200,000 points, the coin block will appear on the world map, and that's going to be useful in this run because we're going to be exploiting the mechanics of the coin block. Because when you have a coin block on your head, then it acts as a temporary power-up to where if you get hit with the coin block, then you just lose the coin block without losing any of your power-ups, as well as the game doesn't freeze to power you down. And so we exploit that within the next level from now in order to skip having to wait for an enemy that we would otherwise have to dodge.
So yeah, he's not just getting all these coins because he has the time in the auto scroller.
Oh yeah, and while the auto scroller is moving, I grab all the star coins because you know it's a free opportunity to get those star coins. Now here we are. This is Mushroom Castle. Without the coin block, and also without the leaf, this level is very awkward to do quickly. I'm gonna grab this coin block, and then upcoming is a thwomp that I would have to wait for, but I can just do this, and then use the iframes to go to that second thwomp, and that is one of a few instances where we abuse the mechanics of the coin block. You'll be seeing a few more instances of those later on.
Yeah. Damage boosting, speedrunning 101.
And then coming up here is a really precise P-speed. Hopefully I can get this one. Okay, got it. So this P-speed allows me to... Normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the end of this level and then build up P-speed there in order to get to this third coin. But by setting P-speed up right at that spot, you have just enough room to build up P-speed at the spot that I got it from. And that saves 6 seconds over the intended way to get this coin.
Yeah, and... So yeah, and now we're off to our first Koopaling.
Yeah, so this is our first boss, Larry Koopa, and in a lot of Mario speedruns, whenever you fight bosses the same way, you get consistent results from the boss fights. And so what I'm doing here in this fight is I am waiting on the right side until I know when Larry's gonna come out from his shell. Because in this fight, Larry does not come out of his shell if you're on the same side as him. So I hang on the right side because I know he's not gonna go... With the way I fight Larry, I know he's not going to go to the right side ever, as long as I'm on the right cycle within that fight. And then, as soon as I know he's about to come out, I run straight to the middle. And then the other optimization I did in that fight is that whenever you beat a Koopaling, a key is going to descend down very slowly. And if you can grab the key from the very top of the screen, then it saves more time than waiting for the key to descend.
Now we are in the, I guess, beach world, meadow world.
Yeah, it's a beach and forest world, which is one of the unique things about World 3 as a world.
So yeah, and here we have another star that we're going to be using to save a lot of time. Is this level one of those things where it's a star chain, where if you don't get the, if you don't have it when you hit the next block, you only get a coin?
Yes. So, I was chaining some stars, and those blocks I was hitting that contained another star will only contain a star if I hit them while I have a star. So you have to be pretty fast in order to make those star chains. And chaining those stars is really nice for that level in particular, because those cheeps can sometimes be a pain to deal with.
Yes. Also, I guess one thing to quickly mention is M-Chan earlier said we only needed 90 star coins to enter the final world. Over the course of the run, he will be getting a total of 95. And that's because he used 5 to get this exit, or this secret level. because it is faster than taking the normal way.
Yeah, so as you saw on the top of the map, there's actually 2 levels, and it's not worth saving 5 star coins. It's not worth doing 2 levels just to save 5 star coins. So this is much faster. Unfortunately, though, the trade-off is you get a water level that is kind of an auto-scroller, not really. It's just that the gimmick of this level is that the current is constantly pushing you forward.
Yeah, which, you know, has its pluses when you're trying to go fast if the water's trying to help you along.
Alright, so, coming up now is we're gonna go to 3-Dash Tower, and we're gonna be getting the secret exit of that level, but, in order to get the secret exit, we need a certain power-up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick detour here in this mushroom house. This mushroom house has either a fire flower, a super leaf, or a mini mushroom, and we're gonna be getting the mini mushroom because the secret exit of 3-Dash Tower requires us to be mini, because there's a mini pipe coming up where that we can only enter if we're Mini Mario. And if you know anything about mini physics in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, you're extremely fragile. You have floaty gravity whenever you jump. It's kind of awkward to control. But fortunately, since we're only mini for this level and it's a water level, mini physics don't affect water levels at all, so we don't have much to worry about.
Yeah, Yeah, M-Chan doesn't have to worry about the physics getting wonky. He just has to make sure he doesn't get hit. Which honestly, in a speed run, really doesn't matter if you're mini or if you're have the Tanuki leaf. It's never fun to get hit.
Yeah, and in this level, this is one of those levels where you kind of have to pay attention a bit, even though it's an auto-scroller, but you kind of have to, like, pay attention a bit because it is a vertical moving auto-scroller, so if you're not paying attention, then, you know, you could, like, suddenly look at your screen and you're all of a sudden too low on the screen, so where you need to catch up. And then there's also these blocks that are moving in and out of each other, and you can get yourself crushed. And you just die. Especially like right here, where we're kind of just stuck right here for a bit. We just kind of just play a little game of pick the right side.
Yeah, the path is not going to open up until M-Chan has spent a few minutes dodging those blocks.
So another mechanic about vertical auto-scrollers is that about to enter a pipe slightly off-screen, like that, and that's because objects do load in a little bit before they are shown on camera. It's a small little time saver right there.
Alright.
So
also,
what? Go on.
As I say, little reminder that we have a donation incentive to change to Luigi for the second half of the game. You need to hit 1,050 in the donations. That's just under $300. We believe in you, chat.
Okay, so we have another cannon level. This one's pretty straightforward. Not much to say about this. And I guess another thing to point out is that you've been seeing me grab the flagpoles of every level pretty specifically, as I am trying to aim for the 2,000 marks of the flagpoles, and that's because Mario and the flag both move at different speeds, and you want them to stop at the same time, and the 2,000 mark just happens to be the mark where they stop at the same time, and it saves a few frames each time over just grabbing the flagpole wherever you want.
Yeah. And that adds up over all the levels.
Yeah, this is a pretty long category, so it's worth it. I'm gonna grab this shell and, for the third star coin. Normally, there's it's under a large pit, like right here. So I'm throwing that shell down that pit to get that star coin for me. Objects can grab star coins for you, which is how that star coin grab is possible. So this is Flower World. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about Flower World.
Yeah.
Normally it's a really hard world, but we don't do the levels that make Flower World a really hard world, fortunately.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, one of the benefits of all castles is you still can skip a number of things that you couldn't skip in like 100%. Also, a gimmick of this level is everything turns into a coin when you get the star, and then you to get the star coin on your way down.
Yeah, and if you're really greedy with your time saves, then you can sometimes miss that star coin. It's kind of an embarrassing mistake. Alright, Flower B is our first level that's going to introduce roulette blocks. And so, with roulette blocks, they start going at a cycle whenever you're at a certain... whenever you spawn it. And as long as you... There's ways to manipulate it, like that, in order to get whatever item that you want, which in this case I round-pounded the top of the block in order to get myself a star. That's going to basically just speed up the rest of the level like this. And there's a few more ways that we manipulate roulette blocks to get what we want, which most of the time we want stars from the roulette blocks because they speed up our movement, of course.
Yes.
And now Flower Castle. The beginning part right here is sometimes easy to die. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Normally you're supposed to use a bomb to grab that star coin, but fooey to that, it's really hard and inconsistent. And then I'm holding neutral after I jump from the conveyor belts that are moving right, because I gained a little bit of speed for doing that.
Yeah, I could tell a little bit when you were on those conveyors that... is theoretically that speed uncapped? Like if there was conveyors forever, you could gain all the speed?
I'm not sure, but but you are jumping faster than the normal full speed.
So now it's time to deal with Lemmy.
Yeah, this is a pretty easy fight. Just hang around the right side. You're supposed to use that switch on the top to switch the direction of the conveyor belt, but I've never done. I don't know about that. I don't know about you, but I've never done that. Whenever I fought this guy normally.
No. Although it always amuses me right here when you get the key, because the fastest place to do that is to constantly be on that switch.
Yeah, it's a really funny key grab. Alright, so now we're here in World 5, which is going to be the first main world that we're going to be completing. And of the main, what I like to call the any percent segment of the run, this is the hardest world of this first part of the run.
Generally, Ludwig hangs out in all the hard worlds.
Yeah. Alright, so all these star coins that I'm grabbing in this level, the way I'm grabbing these star coins is definitely a lot harder than I'm making them.
That second one didn't look easy.
Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, okay, we're good. Alright, that could have been bad, because if I fell down, then I get sent out of this sub-area, and I have to climb the vine again to go back to the sub-area, so that was a pretty nice recovery. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to lose a bit of time here in 5 Ghosts to get myself a leaf. But hopefully it's not a big deal. My cycle's gonna get thrown off a bit, but we'll see what happens. So the leaf right here, gonna grab that. Wait for these stairs to appear. Yeah, I'm not surprised that mistake happened. It's like I said, World 5 is really hard. Every level in World 5, including the ones that we don't do in the run, are all really hard.
Yes.
Okay, grab that star coin, then I'm gonna fly up here to head up to the secret exit area. And this is where things get really difficult here. Because I don't know my cycle. Okay. This is fine. Oh! Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna turn backwards in order to get that big boo to get out of my way, and go just barely underneath that boo to get to that door. And since I still have my leaf, I can do a slightly faster strat to end this level, as opposed to if I had no leaf, and there we go. So it's a very hard level. It's really easy to mess up or die, but we got through that no problem.
Yeah, that was intense because those openings to get through all those ghosts is like super small. It's honestly maybe not even as big as Enchan made them look.
Yeah, it's not easy. But now here we are in 5-A, which is a 2-minute long auto-scroller. We are going to be getting the 3 star coins in this level, because it is an auto-scroller. It takes no time to get them, because I do have to wait around. It's a coin ship, and normally the intention here is that you can grab these gold rings, and you can like throw the Koopa shell onto the coin ship, and whenever you throw a Koopa shell, whenever the coin rings are active, then the Koopa shells leave a coin path from the shells, and so it's a great opportunity to grind off coins if you need to, you know, fill up your coin count. Which actually, this is a great opportunity to talk about this. One of the main selling points about this game is there's an external coin count that is kept track throughout your cartridge, and it counts up after every level. And that actually plays a role in the speedrun, because if you max out your coins to 9,999,999, then the game can't count up any more of your coins, which actually saves time in the speedrun, because you don't have to wait for the coin count to count up after every level. And so over the course of this particular category, you save about 8 seconds. It takes a long time when you're starting out speedrunning this game, but once you max out your coin count, that time save is worth it.
Yes. So yeah, I guess since we're also in another auto-scroller, it's now time to remind again, we are hoping to hit 1,050, so that way when we get the chance to play Luigi, we will take it. I guess also one question is you talked about all that, you know, coin shenanigans you can do in this level. Why aren't you doing them?
The reason I'm not doing anything right now is because I'm trying to manipulate my points for the coin block to spawn at a particular to spawn at specific levels. Because when the coin block appears when you start up a new world, you have to wait for the coin block to appear again. And then also, there are some levels where the coin block is just in your way in some levels, so I'm trying to make sure the coin block's not in my way. Alright, this is the first major, I guess not really the first major skip, but it's the major skip of the level. The 5 castle skip, it's divided up into 3 different parts. That's one part. That's 2. Alright, and that's 3.
Yeah, the goal of this level is you're supposed to ride on fences on tracks, and every time you punch it, it shifts like the last one, but because M-Chain can preserve his speed with the duck spinning, he's able to carry P-Speed to fly over all of it. Also, damage boost.
Yeah, to get what I did in that first hit was actually really difficult. You have just enough height. Whenever you ground pound this game, whenever you ground pound in midair, you gain a few pixels of extra height, and so I did a maximum height jump, followed by a ground pound, in order to gain a few pixels of extra height, and then I buffered the up button so I can stay in the air a little bit longer, which is enough time for me to have Ludwig which is enough time for me to hit Ludwig just before he goes up to the air. Because normally what you're supposed to do in that fight is you're supposed to use those pipe cannons, which are the 5 pipes that you see in that battlefield, and blast up to whichever chain he's hanging off from. It's a bit of a random fight, but by doing that quick first hit, you skip all that randomness.
Yes. Anyway, now we are off to Bowser, who is coincidentally not the last castle in the game.
In this category, yeah, but normally, yeah, this is the final world, and we are going to be doing all of this world. You might be asking why, but we'll explain that after we complete this world. But 6-1 is the first major source of randomness. As you can see, I have to wait for the star coin. That's pretty okay. Okay, yeah, so, you have to wait for a meteor to break those blocks in order to get that star coin, and it takes a random amount of time to reveal that, for you to wait for that meteor to break that star coin. I've had worst case scenarios where I have to wait 5 or 6 seconds, and it's kind of an unfortunate time loss that we just have to deal with. But fortunately, this game's RNG is not impactful to where you're gonna lose the run to RNG, because there's not very many, and all the instances of RNG in this game are all really small. So this is the next ghost house, and this ghost house is a really complex ghost house to go through because there are these rooms that kind of look similar to each other, so it's really easy to get thrown off here. I'm gonna go inside this door even though that sign's telling me to go to the left, and that's because this is where our secret exit's going to go to. I'm going to turn back here to lure this Boo out of the way of that switch, so I can hit that and go inside this door. In this room, if I wall jump frame perfectly, I can save 2 wall jumps, which it doesn't look like I'm going to get. Oh, I did. Oh, okay. Alright, well, I saved the second, but then I lost a second already, because I wasn't expecting myself to get it. But, yeah, that's really cool to show off.
Nice.
Alright, so this secret exit here in 6 Ghosts is is really fortunate because it allows us to skip 2 of some of the hardest levels in the game. And instead we have 6-A, which is a fairly simple level. The mechanic of this level is that there's rising lava, but when you're going really fast, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And also when, you know, you can fly.
Yeah. Okay, grab the star while I'm up here. And then we're going to go through the rest of the level with the star. Okay, so next level, which is 6-Tower, is divided up into 2 parts. The first part is a technical climb, and then the second part is there's these moving platforms that you use to go up, but we're gonna instead skip those moving platforms.
Yeah,
So I was gonna see, one of the things that I'm doing here is, this is something that is not possible in Mario 3, and that is that I land on the ground for a few frames, in order to gain my P-speed back, and that's how a lot of our tricks are possible in this game. Alright, so the boss of every tower is Reznor, the returning boss from Super Mario World. And you fight Reznor basically the same way as in Mario World, except in this game, there's a bit more creative ways to fight Reznor. You have to hit the blocks underneath Reznor, or if you have to leave, just hit the side of the blocks. And so yeah, you'll be seeing more variations of Reznor later on. That's supposed to be the hardest one because it's the 6th world, but not so much.
Yeah. If it is the hardest one, it says less about all the others.
Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good. Alright, hopefully... Alright, hopefully I should still be good here on the cycle. To build up this P-speed. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, P-speed was important in there because, I mean, besides the fact those platforms are annoying and also put you on a cycle, it also makes puts you at the mercy of those birds that are, that flocked around on the screen before the end of the level.
And getting P-speed saves a lot of time at the end of the level, because there's a moving platform they have to ride for the rest of the level, but that's really slow. Okay, in this level here, there are fireballs and spiky balls, and there's 2 points in this level where I'm going to be setting up triple jumps. So here's the first triple jump coming up right here. 1, and here's the next triple jump at the very end right here. And triple jumps are higher than a regular jump, and so without setting up those triple jumps, you cannot clear all those obstacles that I was jumping over.
Yep.
And something else that I was doing to make setting up triple jumps easier is that when you're fluttering in the air, it actually stores your first jump, so you can actually chain double jumps if you really want to with those, which helps setting up triple jumps a lot easier.
So, Bowser's Castle, the first part is pretty straightforward. We're going to want to dodge all the burners and the fire.
And that was an intentional damage boost because there's no, it's kind of awkward trying to dodge all that stuff right there. Then equip my leaf, and then here is you're supposed to ride this block snake throughout the whole room here, but we're just gonna fly up and skip that instead.
Yeah.
Like that. And then this room here, there are these Koopalings, and what they're gonna do is when they do their flash attack, they're gonna turn you into stone. However, if I am hanging around those walls, then I avoid their flash attack. And as you can see, there's a lot of places in that room where if you are not behind the walls, then you're dead.
Yeah, it's nicer of the creators than just having the flash straight up kill you, but it's still pretty, you don't want to get caught in that because, it does take you a few seconds to break out of the, stone.
Yeah, you have to mash really hard in order to be able to break out of your stone, which is sometimes not enough time when you land on the moving conveyors as well as the donut platforms. Oh man, there's too many things to explain. The corridor room, the fireballs that I was dodging in the corridor room, they're always the same, so you can dodge them the same way each time. And then the Bowser fight, it was so hard I didn't need to explain it, but it was actually a pretty precise jump to jump over Bowser to hit the switch, and What's this? I beat Bowser, so what happened?
Yes.
What are they doing?
Being jerks is what they're doing.
Oh my goodness, Bowser's back and he's giant. Alright, so starts the escape sequence. The escape sequence is just a 2-minute auto-scroller. However, there are 3 parts into the escape sequence. And to get to the next part as fast as we can, we count the swipes, the number of swipes that Bowser does. So what I was doing there is I was counting 4 swipes and then fly up to the next part, as the next part will be loaded a little bit above before it spawns on the screen. The next part here, I can get up in 4 swipes, but even if I get up to the next part within 4 swipes, Bowser does a 5th swipe no matter what.
Also, a little fun side note is, if you want to know where Bowser is going to swipe, when his eyes turn from red to orange, that's the platform he's going to attack.
Yeah, and then also I have one of the benefits of having the super leaf here in the escape sequence is it makes the escape sequence a lot easier. You can actually do the escape sequence as fast as I'm making it without the super leaf, but it's much harder. So here on this 3rd section, I'm counting 3 swipes to get up to the top. And there's a giant switch at the end I'm going to hit. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that would normally be the end of the run in most categories, but in this category I have only beaten 4 castles so far, so there's still plenty more to go in the run.
I guess that does raise it. Although I did realize this does raise an important question. What was Bowser standing on the whole time?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think maybe he realized he was standing on lava or something. It doesn't make it. Lava makes no sense when it comes to Bowser.
Anywho, so unfortunately, we cannot skip the credits or save quit out of them. So there is a little mini game in the credits, but it is going to be a few minutes of Mario walking with Peach.
Yeah, so normally, like, if like you've been resetting for a while and then you finally get to this part within like your session, then this would be a fantastic time to take like a 5-minute break, because this is 5 minutes without any inputs. You can move around the credits like Pretend said, but if it took you a while to get to the credits, to finally get to the credits within your session, then you really don't want to put your hands on the controller for after like maybe an hour or 2 of finally getting to the credits.
But here we can, since we're in a marathon, it also makes it a great time to get the money in, because it's the last chance to donate so that MChem will switch to Luigi after the credits are over.
Yeah, I would really like to play as Luigi. It doesn't look like... Let me check this real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So it looks like we're gonna play through the whole run as Mario. Unless someone can somehow donate $300, but... Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, you get Luigi unlocked. The game doesn't really tell you that you can play as Luigi. But basically, with a certain button combination, as soon as you go back to your file, then you get access to playing as Luigi. And there's no difference in gameplay between playing as Mario or Luigi at all, but there are a few visual differences, which unfortunately you're not going to be seeing in this run. But after this run, if I have time, I'll show off Luigi. Yeah.
I think you'll have to ask the runner of the next game if you have the time.
Oh, perfect. Then all I gotta do is ask myself, because I'm running LADX after this. But yeah, so we're past the any percent segment. At least that's what we like to call this part of the run, the any percent segment. And now we're heading out to the post game, where all we have to do is just complete the main worlds, and then go to Star World. Star World is unlocked, but we can't do any of the levels right now because we don't have 90 star coins at the moment. And the post game compared to the 80% segment is easier. There's less hard tricks, but there are still hard levels to worry about. But as far as like everything to worry about, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
So...
One part of that is, whether by coincidence or design, most of the early game we skipped over is where we're going to be coming back and making it up now.
Yeah, so we're doing the early levels in the second half of the game, which is a pretty common theme in 100% categories across all the new Super Mario Bros. Games. So yeah, the credits are almost over.
Peach's head still doesn't look proportionate to me when Mario carries her like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Maybe it's something to do with the dress's shoulders, but...
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Alright, so Star World has appeared, the game is saved now, and now we're gonna go to back to our game, and now we're gonna continue. And we're gonna go straight to One Dash Tower and get the normal exit. We'll see how this goes.
I guess now would be a good time to reiterate one of the benefits of doing beating the game before most of the first half of the game. Because the cutscenes that are now removed.
Oh, okay. That prompt can sometimes hit you while you're getting that third coin. So that's a little bit unfortunate because now I am forced to lose. I have to do a slower strat in One Dash Castle now. Alright, so that was the what's supposed to be the first Reznor fight of the game when you're playing this game normally. So that was the easiest Reznor fight. Something else to note is that Reznor, there's a random chance. It's very low possibility, but there's a random chance where Reznor can shoot a fireball, and sometimes when he does it can be inconvenient. But that's usually because the odds of that is so low, it's usually in the back of your mind. So yeah, like Pretend said, one of the benefits of beating the game early is that when you're doing the post-game segment, then it removes, when you skip worlds in this game, all the cutscenes before the world in the worlds beforehand get moved to whichever world that you're on. So all the cutscenes get moved to World 6, so it just completely skips the cutscenes of every tower and castle from here on out, as well as when you beat the game, it actually skips all the save prompts. Instead, you can save wherever you want, which is nice if there's a hard level coming up, if you want to like save your power-ups.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In the speedrun though, what it amounts to is Enchan will be saving time because he won't be telling the game whether or not he wants to save, which we don't because saving takes longer than not saving.
So in this level, normally in Warpless we actually do 1-A, because 1-A is much faster than this level. It saves 50 seconds, but that would mean that if I do 1-A, that would mean that I have to get 5 more star coins later on in the run. And then something else that we didn't talk about yet is that the way you get fireworks in this game is you have to beat the level with the last 2 digits being double digit, but the double digits have to match whichever world that you're in. So in this case, I have to have double ones in order to get fireworks. And the reason it's relevant here is because if I didn't play this level perfectly, then I would have been likely to get double ones, which is why, as you saw right there, I slowed down. I could have maybe got a 12, because I was just a little bit fast enough, but I wasn't confident with my movement to chance a 12.
How much time does the fireworks lose in this game?
Well, since I could have gotten one firework there, it doesn't lose that much time, but it's still slow enough to where, you would lose a pretty substantial amount of time.
Okay, but it's not as bad as you and Luigi do.
Yeah. I'd say about maybe 10 seconds or less.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright, so if I kept my leaf in One Dash Tower, I would have done a damage boost, and then re-equip my leaf during the boss fight, but because I only have one leaf now, I have to wait for that flop, and then get the third coin. It's about 3 seconds slower than damage boosting to get that coin, but what can you do?
I thought there was a hidden leaf block to the right of the boss door.
Yeah, there is. There is.
Okay.
Yeah, there's usually a power-up right before you fight a boss. It's about a few seconds slower each time.
Yeah.
And there's a leaf I can get in World 2 that doesn't lose any time, so I'm getting that instead. Ideally you're leaving World 1 with just one leaf. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, since we've already rescued Peach, there's no cutscene of Peach being taken to the next world. So we're now in the desert world.
Yeah, so World 2, as far as post-game is concerned, is ironically one of the hardest worlds to do in the post-game section. And that's mostly because of one level that's like really easy to mess up. And that's 2-Dash Tower. We'll go a little bit more into that later. We have a few more levels coming up before 2-Dash Tower. So we have some pretty simple levels to do until then.
Yep.
This level right here, there's normally a vertical section halfway into the level that you're supposed to climb using some moving platforms. But since I have the leaf, I can skip that section entirely by doing this. And that's basically just a common theme here, just spin fly, and which is what the trick is called with what Pretend is talking about, where I'm spinning and flying at the same time in order to keep my speed. Because otherwise, if you're just flying normally, then you lose all your horizontal speed.
Yep.
Which is one of the reasons why the Super Leaf was not a good power-up in Mario 3. As far as speedrunning, like casually, it's a good power-up.
Yeah,
this level right here is slower than the other level, 2-A, but again, I would have to get 5 more star coins just to do 2-A. And right there was another manipulation to get a star, to manipulate a star from a roulette block. Fly up here to grab this star coin. Okay, so 2-Dash Tower is a cycle-based level, and there are these moving blocks where it's really easy to get crushed by if you're not careful. And the first half of the level is I have to make 2 very precise cycles. See how this goes. Grab this leaf because it loses no time. I have to wait for this cycle anyway.
we're off.
Okay, that's one part. That, very nice. Alright, and then the rest of the level's easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes trying to make that middle cycle right there. Otherwise, you're not going to make, you're gonna either get crushed or you're just not gonna make it.
Yeah, and
Oh, and then to get the third star coin, you notice I wall jump from the right side. You're supposed to get from the left side, but it's much safer to get from the right side.
yeah,
And then that Reznor fight, there's 4 Reznors instead of 2 from World 1, so it's a little bit harder, but not really.
it's a little longer, is what it is.
Alright, 2 Ghost House. I guess I forgot to mention that Ghost Houses in this game, like, Ghost Houses in general are supposed to be like these complex levels that trick the players into getting lost, but Ghost Houses are very gimmicky in this game. The gimmick of this level is that there's that giant boo behind me that etiquette likes to call Behemoth. And if you face left, then the boo will stop moving, which actually stops the progression of this level. So you want to always be facing right.
Yep, you want to be facing left as little as possible.
And then I reveal that hidden vine block to get the secret exit here, as it's going to allow us to do 1 level over, as opposed to the normal route where we do 2 levels. Which is nice because the 2 levels that we would normally do are actually, like, really hard to do fast.
Yeah.
Alright, so this level is a level that's, like, really hard to do in 100%, but it's not 100%, and I don't have to worry about getting that star coin by using a bomb. I instead am just gonna fly over everything while getting that coin right there. So, what becomes one of the hardest levels to do becomes a very simple level.
Yes.
Okay, and then coming up is 2 Castle, which has another major skip, where there's a moving platform that you have to ride across lava, but we're gonna skip that by flying.
Yep. That's the most common theme of the levels where you're supposed to go for a ride, is like, why you can just fly over it.
Okay, very nice. Alright. It's a bit of a redemption from last year's run, where I missed a skip and I almost died. I'm sure Tristnal remembers that, I hope. Yeah, redemption. Yeah, it saves a lot of time. And now here we are fighting Iggy Koopa. And Iggy Koopa is random, but it's not, like, impactful at all, because you can see where Iggy's gonna come from. And yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really weird. Alright, sometimes that happens, but fortunately there's not a leaf in the next level, but the level after there's a leaf that takes no time to get.
Yeah.
Alright, so back to World 3. Yeah, back to World 3. We already did the first 2 levels of World 3, and so we're just gonna go straight to the tower, and we're gonna be getting the normal exit here. Equip my leaf while I can. Yeah, not much to say about this level at all.
Well, it's It's more of dodging the blocks. Except for this time, we don't need the mini mushroom or to wait in a certain area for a few minutes. It's when the path opens, we take the path.
Coming up, I'm gonna go into a sub area to grab a star coin. And normally, as you can probably notice a pattern with which star coins I'm grabbing every star coin that does not involve going into a sub area. This sub area here in this level is fast enough to where this star coin's worth getting, as well as another level later on. And also the fortunate thing about going into the sub area is that normally you have to wait for a very long time in this part, but it actually like speeds up this the waiting around in this part of the level. So in an IL attempt, that's actually faster to do. But of course, like even though it saves game time, it loses time in real time.
Yeah. Oh, nice! You got the early pipe.
Yeah, and the pipe, and of course the pipe spawns pretty close early, so I grab the pipe, so I enter the pipe as early as possible. And this Reznor fight is the same Reznor fight as in World 2, and that is actually the last Reznor fight that we do in the run. So we're not going to be fighting Reznor at all in World 4. Alright, 3-4 is a... It's split into two parts. The first part's really easy to do. The second part has cycles of rising poison water. And there's a hard strat that you can do, but it doesn't save any time if you do it, because then you have to wait for a different cycle later on. So while I'm waiting for this poison water, I'm gonna grab that leaf, because I have to wait for a later cycle. I could go for a really risky cycle early on there, but then I have to wait for this cycle here later on, so it doesn't save any time. In Warpless, it does save time because you're going to the top of the level as opposed to the bottom of the level when you're not getting star coins. It's also worth noting that this level is the level where you can actually... It's a level where you can grind coins if you're interested in maxing your coin count. So if you want to save those 8 seconds, then definitely get good at this level. Okay, 3-Ghost. 3-Ghost has a bunch of these moving platforms. In this part here, there's a really tight piece speed I'm gonna try and get. We got it. Grab that star coin very precisely without hitting that boo.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's pretty tight. It's sometimes easy to... If you're a little bit too quick or something like that, you can get hit by that boo. Fly up to this star coin right here, and then to this door after. Then we're gonna get the secret exit. Gonna face left to move this boo out of the way. And then use the tail spins to break those blocks to get over here, which is the secret exit. And this secret exit's gonna allow us to skip a level, as that level is a water level. We want to avoid water levels whenever possible.
This way.
So going straight to the castle, and the castle has these moving razors
It's a good time.
that we're gonna try and dodge. The slightly faster strat that doesn't save much time, and it's also like really hard to do. So I didn't go for it there. Alright, and then the second part does a really tight piece speed that I'm gonna try and get. Got it. That just saves having to wait for that giant saw blade there. And I keep P-Speed to fly over all of those saw blades. Or razors. And then grab that coin and then into the boss door. So that P-Speed there, that's really precise to get, saves like a second.
Right. Well, hey. You don't have to dodge through the saws, so that's always good.
Yeah.
Alright. Windy. Important thing to note about Windy is I don't think you can hit her while you're swimming. You have to wait until the water goes down.
Yeah, the only way to hit Wendy underwater is by having a fire flower. And also, I ground pound on Wendy, because if you just jump on Wendy as early as I ground pounded Wendy, then you just get hit. It doesn't really make much sense. I think the way I understand it is that ground pounding kind of just extends your hitbox a bit. That way you can hit Wendy earlier than you're supposed to. So now here we are on World 4. Yeah, hitboxes are weird. Here we are on World 4, which... You know, what's funny about World 4 is that it's actually the longest world because there's the most amount of levels, but in the speedrun, since we're not doing every level, it's actually the shortest world. As there's a secret exit later on where that skips like a bunch of World 4.
Nice.
So just like on World 5, which is one of the main worlds that we did earlier, there's a secret exit that skips a lot of World 4, including the tower as well.
Also, through the shell to get another star coin without having to go up to it.
It's a good time.
Now here we are in 4-Ghosts, which is yet again another auto-scroller.
Yeah, but I will say in terms of auto-scrollers, this one's at least something kind of unique.
Yeah, so there's these walls right here. They're going to be moving around. You kind of have to just move with the walls.
There's something kind of fun to it if you're playing this game casually, or you just want a low-thought level without being a no-thought level.
So I don't need to build a P-Speed here. It just makes getting to the secret exit area easier. Here we are. It's not like I said, it's not faster, but it just makes it easier. And this is the secret exit that's gonna allow us to skip a bunch of World 4. As the next level is gonna be 4-B, and after 4-B is a pipe that will take us straight to the castle. You can I guess the bottom screen's not shown on the stream, but if you're playing this game, you see on the bottom screen, you can see how many levels there are in World 4, and you can see why the secret exit's very much worth it. So I grabbed that coin block right there in the beginning, because I'm going to do this, where I slide through an amp there, in order to grab that star coin, without having to go all the way around just to get that star coin. When you get hit by an amp, there's a zapping animation, which like completely stops all your momentum, so you lose quite a bit of time if you get hit by an amp.
And it also takes your power up too, so...
Yeah.
It's double not fun.
Yes, that coin block was very much worth getting. And, okay, so I saw what my points are, and which means the coin block's gonna spawn right now, which means that I can do a slightly faster strat in Fordash Castle.
It's a good time.
And come up is our next. Oh, you did. Okay. Come up is the next star manipulation. It's gonna be the final one that we do. So with this coin block, I'm gonna boost through that fire bar right there, and then I'm gonna hit that stair step so that I'm slow enough so that I can hit that block to reveal a star. That's gonna allow me to tank through all these dry bones, spiky balls, fire bars, everything. Alright, come up in this room is a slightly, kind of a recent strat by found by Nanasi. There we go, we just got it. We just kind of do a precise jump up to that pipe there. There's actually a pipe on the bottom that you're normally supposed to go to after getting that third coin. And so the strat that I just did there saves about 2 seconds over the normal strat. And then I boost through that giant spiky ball afterwards because there's not a very good way to avoid him without losing too much time. I just take the damage boost. And then right after that, I grab an extra leaf. That's normally in PB attempts I don't grab it, but not grabbing that leaf means I'm running through 5 levels with just 1 leaf, and I'm not likely to get hit during those 5 levels. But if I do get hit, then it's really bad.
Yeah, it's generally the only way to get leaves back without going through backtracking through other levels, which is super slow, is to go through toad houses, which is, you know, marathon safe, but it's still not fast.
Yeah. And so the extra leaf there only loses a few seconds. You save in world record attempts I skip it because, you know, I save a few seconds, so it's worth it. But since I'm just showing off the run, I may as well just grab that leaf. So here we are, we already did World 5, so we're going straight to Star World. And normally in 100%, we're grabbing the moon coins, which is what the star coins are in this world. Is actually pretty difficult, but because we're not worrying about getting moon coins, all it is here in Star World is just a rush to the end.
Yeah, if there's any moon coins that Inchan gets, it's because, from this point out, it will be just because they're in the way.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first level right there. Very straightforward. Normally not so straightforward if I have to get the moon coins, as you might probably saw some moon coins that look kind of hard to get.
Oh, I'm sure they're super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, also, they said that the lower screen is now on the
Oh yeah, I responded to that earlier.
Okay.
Okay, nice. So yeah, in this level right here, I was using the momentum of the platforms that were moving right to gain a bit of speed. Again, that's by holding neutral on the D-pad. This level is one of the easiest levels to do in this world.
I bet. I mean, all these levels are going to be probably at least somewhat easier because it's just go to the end.
Yeah. So yeah, you just fly over everything here. As you can see, there's a ton of things that you have to dodge otherwise, but with the leaf, all you have to do is just fly over everything.
Number 1.
Okay, Star 4 is just like all the other levels that we have already completed. Normally it would be really hard in 100%, which, you know, might be kind of silly to say because, you know, this level's an auto-scroller, but in this level, what makes it kind of scary in 100% is that you have to use this mini mushroom because there's a star coin or a moon coin that requires the mini mushroom, but we don't have to worry about that. The scary part is that you have to just try not to die, which is sometimes easy to do because of this Porky Puffer. And,
Yeah, they. Fortunately, there's a few things you can. It's not that difficult to dodge, and
yeah.
also it will respawn after a few seconds after M-Chan knocked it out, but that's why he has that shell, so he can hit it again. It also helps that the shell's moving slower in its path.
Yeah, in the water. If you throw the shell in the water. Yes, okay, so, I can't see my timer right now, but this is looking like a pretty good run. Aside from my mishap in World 5, which I think is, I think if I can recall, that's probably, my mishap in World 5 has probably been my only major mistake of the run. And even then, the run hasn't, I don't recall the run going that bad since then, so I'm actually pretty happy with this run so far.
Yeah, you are so far deathless, which is really one of the best things that you can ask for in a marathon run of a Mario game.
Yeah, and in this particular category, this is a really hard category to grind out, especially because some of these strats that I've been going for are not as easy as I'm making them look.
Yeah, well.
But it's still a fun category. This is one of my favorite categories in this game.
And I can see why, and viewers, I hope you can too.
So again, another straightforward level. Normally in this level, you're supposed to use the Lakitus to get some of the moon coins, but again, don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Alright, Star 6. Another auto-scroller. It's very long. Which, you know, can be a blessing, but can be a curse, because since this is towards the end of the run, it's like 2 minutes to think about how you're gonna mess up Star 7, Star 8, which can sometimes be easy to mess up. Oh, and that's where we get the... That's the leaf that I would get normally. But, since since every level has went really well so far, didn't have to worry about grabbing that leaf.
Yep. I will say in this game that the background for this level is the underwater castle is my favorite aesthetic for a level in this game.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And we also have a long time to appreciate it.
Okay, this sub-area right here saves a few seconds over not going to the sub-area, because you can see how slow the screen moves in this auto-scroller. But yeah, again, it's not the end of the run right now, but I want to thank Tristnal and all the other people who are part of the organization for the Link to the Cure Marathon. This is my 4th year in a row being a part of this community, and it's also I believe this is my 7th run of the marathon. And I always have fun every time I've been a part of this event, so it's always It's always a pleasure to be a part of this community every time I get a chance to. And also thank you to everyone else who have been participating in the marathon, as well as the people watching. Hope everybody has had a fun time throughout this event as well. We're in day 2. There's still a whole nother day of the marathon. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the marathon. Okay, there's not much to say about the next level, so Pretend, do you want to say anything?
Thank you for having me on here. I've had a great time as well.
Oh yeah, definitely shouts to Pretend to Know. Pretend to Know has been a really great friend of mine from the Mario community for quite a while now, and so I'm always happy to be able to hang out with him. Definitely check out Pretend. He's really awesome. 100% speedrunner of Mario 3D World. If you like Mario 3D World, and you like 100%, then I would definitely recommend checking out Pretends. Oh, okay. I kind of spaced out there. I was supposed to regain Peace Speed. That's fine. Okay, not bad. Only lost me a second. No big deal. If I had regained Peace Speed, and I would have been able to float over the very large fire bar that you saw me have to go under. That's fine. Okay, Star Castle. True final level. It's quite insane compared to 6 Castle. So the Koopalings are back. And as you can see, it's harder to dodge their flash attack. So what I did there is I did an intentional damage boost in order to avoid their flash attack, because they can't turn me into stone while I have iframes. Cool little exploit there. And then I grabbed that leaf there. There's a way to not have to get that leaf, and it barely saves time really hard. No one goes for it. And then here, we're riding this block snake throughout the rest of the level. Although, okay, that was a little bit close there. Later on, halfway, at a certain point, I am going to skip riding the rest of the block snake through.
Yeah, unfortunately, even with spin flying, you can't get quite far enough to skip the platform altogether. And also, you taking a huge, even if you could, it'd be a huge risk for some of the saws.
Yeah, and you saw there that it gets, when you're riding that block snake further and further into that room, it gets harder to dodge their flash attacks. And then also, the skip that I just did is actually a lot more precise than I made it look. You have a few frames to be of a window to make that.
And they were ready to turn you to stone if you hadn't reached that end point, like, right then.
Yeah, exactly. And so, again, quarter room, different fireball spawns this time, but they're always the same. And then, also, that's Dry Bowser, the true final boss. That was so difficult. I feel like that was harder than the regular Bowser fight.
I'm having a sense of deja vu.
Oh, but the Koopalings are back again. What are they gonna do this time? Surely it's not the same thing, right?
No, technically it's not the same.
Oh my goodness, he's back.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as before. The little difference is he swipes faster and a little more often, but
no, it's the same. But the platforms are smaller.
Alright.
But other than that, yeah, this escape sequence is exactly the same. So, just like in Six Castle, there will be a giant switch, and at the end of the third part, and that's when time ends. Again, I'm waiting. I go up here to this next part, and he does a fifth swipe anyway. You can kind of take your time on this second part, because you won't lose that much time, or you won't lose time at all, as long as you just get up there. But then the third part can sometimes be hard if you're trying to be extremely greedy with your time saves. Yeah, that's 2. Third one's coming up. Gonna fly up right now. Time. 1:23:43. Okay. Very good run.
Congratulations.
Really happy with that run.
Alright, that was within 1 minute of world record, which, yes, he also has.
Yeah, to give you guys an insight, the world record is 1:23:07. So I was about 36 seconds off of world record. So I'm really happy with this run.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so we have plenty of time, I guess. Alright. I'm guessing I'm gonna save here. But we do have time before we move on to LEDX. And so, by holding L and R, I can play as Luigi right here. And as you can see, here's Luigi. And as you can see, one of the visual differences is that you can see his Super Leaf power-up is actually not a raccoon, it's actually a fox. And there's no difference in gameplay at all. And because all you have to do is hold a certain button combination in order to select your file again, it loses no time to switch to Luigi. So this is the character we would have played as if had you guys donated for Luigi, but what can you do? But yeah. Okay, next thing of interest is if, I'm gonna show you guys how the best way to grind coins, since we have plenty of time for destroying that estimate, is, this is the coin rush mode, and if you go to start coin rush, challenges Mario, and you select the flower cup, basically what coin rush mode is it's where you do 3 levels really fast, and grab as many coins as you can within a very limited time limit. Okay, we got this little first try. So it's whenever you select a pack, then it's gonna take you to a random level, and I got 3-4 on my first try. It's random, so sometimes it can take you a while to choose 3-4. And so what I want to do here is I'm gonna go as fast as I can through this first part. I'm gonna grab this leaf, and this might take me a few tries because I haven't done this in a while. Oops. Okay, hold on. Alright, I'm gonna head up here. Go over to this vine. And it's gonna take me to this area here, which, normally there's no point in getting to the sub-area because there's no star coins, but if I try to lure this Koopa... Okay, I'm gonna try again here.
Okay. This is the first time I'm seeing this, so...
Yeah.
Oh!
Let me try this again here. If I lure this Koopa down over here, alright, very good. And now I equip my gold flower.
I think I know what you're about to do, because
Okay. There it is. So, as you can see, on the top right of your screen, my coin count's going up really fast. And I'm not pressing any buttons at all. And so I can just go AFK while I let my coins go up. The downside is that it caps at 30,000 coins each time. and you just have to slowly wait for your time to go down each time. And so this takes about like 2 or 3 minutes every time for every 30,000 coins. And you want to keep doing this until your coin count reaches 9,900,099. And this is how you're going to max out your coin count in order to save the 8 seconds that all castles saves. Whereas in any percent, it saves 6 seconds. And if you want to do the math, from a fresh cartridge to the maximum coin count, this will take you about 15 hours.
Yes, Mario's doing money laundering.
And so, because I messed up, I don't think it's likely I'll get to 30,000 within the time, by the time the time runs out. But this is the general idea of how to grind coins.
I know, we're getting close.
Okay, so we didn't get the 30,000, but you get the idea. It'll cap at 30,000, and so after you die, you can actually try again. And then you can just rinse and repeat. So yeah, this is the best way to grind coins. And also, in the 100% category of this game, one of the requirements is you have to max out your life counter. And in that category, you can't get enough lives by the time you do every level. And so you have to go out of your way to grind 1-ups. And so, in order to grind 1-ups in 100%, you do exactly that, but not in the coin rush mode.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not in coin rush, it'll do the standard thing of Mario where it goes 100, 200, 400, 800, or 1,000, up to where you start getting 1-ups.
Yeah, and so when you're grinding 1-ups in the 100% category, you can and you get this part down. All you gotta do is just set your DS down, and then you can use the restroom because you're gonna wait like 4 minutes or something like that. So, one of the nice things about 100% is that there's 2 restroom breaks in that regard. Which is nice because 100% is 3 hours long in this game.
Yep. So, are we definitely on track to hit 30,000 this time?
Yeah, I didn't have to reset the sub area at all. So I'll just show you guys that it caps at 30,000.
I'm in anticipation.
I see plenty of time this time. So as you can see now, it caps at 30,000. And when you get 30,000, you could try to beat the level, but you're not going to beat the level on time. You'll probably get really close to the flagpole, but the in-game timer ticks so fast that you're not going to beat the level and keep the 30,000. But you keep the 30,000 whenever you die anyway, so not a big deal.
Also, if you're trying to grind out the coins, you probably don't want to beat the level because
oh yeah, true. You don't want to beat the level if you're trying to grind the coins. Now, the reason I don't do that in the main story is because in the main story, the coins cap at 9999, so it's not as effective. You have to do it in the coin rush mode. Okay, what else is there to show off here? Alright, so I guess another thing to show off, I think we still have plenty of time, so I can do this. I'm gonna show you guys a strat that I didn't do in 5 Castle, which isn't really viable in all castles at all, because due to the fact that I have to get star coins. But in the warpless category, when you're not getting star coins, there's a much harder method of doing the 5 castle skip, and we call it the YOLO strat, and I'll let it explain for itself. So hopefully I can pull it off. It's not very consistent, but let's see what happens.
Nothing ominous about this.
Ah, okay, let's try again. We have time, so I'm gonna try again. You can see what I was trying to do there. So we'll try again until I get it. We have plenty of time. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay. Fortunately, whenever you reset a level, it actually keeps your power-ups. Okay, there we go. So that's the YOLO strat right there. It's not really like if you rhythmatically with very precise rhythm spin at the giant piranha plant, then you can actually defeat that piranha plant and just fly right through it, and then make it to the end of the level right there. And in Warpless, you save about like 3 seconds because you don't have to ride that grate through the rest of the level. But because the strat's so hard to do, you only see it done by world record runners, because Warpless is such an optimized category that you need that time save. But in most cases, if you're not going for world record, then you can just safe out of the YOLO strat and ride the grate like I did to grab the third coin, but without getting the third coin. And yeah. So it's a really cool strat if you can get it, but then you feel really bad if you don't. I've only gotten the YOLO strat like very few times. It's a strat that I go for if I know that my run's dead coming into 5 Castle. And yeah, so I don't think that's pretty much all I want to show off. So thank you guys so much for watching this run. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Pretends, for hanging out with me.
My pleasure.
And I'll see you guys I'll see you guys over at LADX in about a few minutes.